All right, and we are live. Hello, everybody. I think that's one of my favorite catchphrases. Hello, everybody. All right. So today I am so excited to have you all with me. Um, and we are going to be talking about a very important excuse me subject, or I guess it'll be more so like a few subjects we're going to be talking about, but more so hitting on building confidence and self-acceptance, and how do we get there. Okay, steps that will help us along the way to get to that point. um if you don't know me, my name is Irma Joyner. I am the founder of Joyner School of Music, as well as Voice Launch Master Class. And I am now a YouTuber, influencer. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm an educator. And yeah, I am. So I'm ready to get started. So we're going to be talking about formation foundations. Welcome to formation foundations, building confidence in singing and self acceptance. If you are a budding artist, a budding vocalist, or someone who's experienced in the field already, or maybe you're just someone who's just curious about singing, but maybe you don't have the nerves, maybe you have a little bit of self-doubt about how to sing or getting yourself to that point. Maybe you feel like, you can't sing correctly, or you love how Mariah Carey sings, but you can't sing every note correctly, right? Or um, you love Whitney Houston. I'm naming some great voices here. Maybe you love Beyonce, or oh my goodness, who else am I missing? There's the Isleys. There's so much, right? But maybe you love those artists, and you just maybe are wondering, well, why am I not, or I'm having a hard time attaining those skills. And what can I do to combat the frustration of, or fear of, getting on stage and being able to do this consistently? You're in the right place if that is you. Okay. So let's talk about it. So the first part we're going to be working on is conquering performance anxiety. um I have not had one student that has ever come to me to work on their voice and development as a singer who did not have some kind of anxiety. And a lot of the times it stemmed from previous experiences that they've had with either, it could be family, someone really pushing them to do something, but in a way that they just weren't ready. Or maybe it just was not the best form of encouragement. Um, and so, there are so many different ways that we have to learn how to overcome that anxiety. Sometimes people do well by having that extra push externally, but then there are times where we have to find that push within ourselves. Sometimes receiving it externally is not always the answer, and that's okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is practicing deep breathing. Um, some of you may be familiar with the term deep breathing from such things as like yoga, or meditation, and those fields are actually very good to study. I remember when I was going to school at Stetson University for music, and I'll never forget one of my favorite voice instructors, Dr. Lloyd Lenny. She was big on making sure that we participated in things like yoga, understanding the Alexander technique, so that we could understand how to align with our bodies and our breath and have more confidence and self control in what we are doing. And so, one of the things that I always recommend to get rid of anxiety is deep breathing, learning how to have control over your breath. When you have control over your breath, you have control over yourself, you have control over your emotions. your feelings. You can even feel your diaphragm expand and contract more effectively because you're much more in tune with yourself. Um, so, before any performance, dedicate a few minutes to breathing deeply and just getting a chance to feel your diaphragm, feeling yourself. This simple act can really calm your nerves and just prepare your voice overall. You'd be amazed at what simple breathing technique can do to really relax your nerves and give you the full opportunity to actually give yourself a chance. And that right there that I just said is one of the most common phrases that I say to my students. You need to give yourself the opportunity of a chance. If you just count yourself out and tell yourself no, you can't do it, you're probably not going to do it. Okay. Next would be visualization. Now, I'm a very visual person. Excuse me. I use all of my other senses too, of course, but visualizing, again, understanding how to tie things inward instead of always externally, can always help you. So, let's talk about visualizing your success. Okay. Imagine your performance in detail. Okay. Like, just take the time to actually imagine everything from the beginning, the middle, and to the end. See yourself on stage just performing. I mean, every note, every breath that you take, every movement that you make, you can feel the applause and just notice the lights and the people in the audience if you feel comfortable doing that. Um, you're just taking time to visualize yourself. And when you make this a regular habit, a regular daily habit leading up to your performance, it actually decreases the anxiety because it's not like you're going to be dealing with something unexpected. You know what I mean? So when you're visualizing what is going to happen, you're giving yourself an opportunity to put in place a positive perspective, and that positive perspective will decrease the likelihood of anything bad happening because you're rehearsing it in your mind. It's just like, say, for example, when you have a normal habit of getting up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, you wash your face before you go eat. You rehearse this over and over so much, you already know in your mind that that's what you're going to do first thing you get up in the morning, right? So you visualize this. This is not just something that just happens. It's something that you saw happen because it's something you learn and you do it every morning. You would never expect that it may not happen, right? It's something that you're comfortable with because of that. Good. Um, let's talk about also preparation and familiarity. Similar thing here. So, you know, nothing beats performance anxiety like being prepared. um if you are practicing doing something enough, you're going to become very comfortable with it. It's not going to seem like, oh my gosh, I'm on the spot, run, right? It's going to be more like, ooh, okay, yeah, I'm still on that same energy level, that same energy vibe. I can definitely do this. Okay, that's what it's going to feel like. So, definitely would recommend, if you are going to be, say, on tour or performing like I have been in the past. um and matter of fact, I have a performance tomorrow. I have a performance tomorrow morning. So I'll use that as an example. In the middle of the week, I met with my accompanist in the hall that I'm going to be performing at, and I looked around in the environment to know where I'm going to be standing, how I'm going to be mic'd, what my voice sounds like in the microphone. Um, how does the accompanist sound, or like the accompaniment sound in that area, inside of that hall to me? Am I comfortable with the temperature in the room when I'm singing this? Am I dry? How's the air? These are all kind of things that you want to think about, because I'm gonna share an example with you. Last year, last Christmas season, And those of you who follow me on social media like Facebook and Instagram as well, and I'm not sure. I think I think I may have posted a video of it on YouTube. If not, I'll put it on here. But let me tell you, this was the very first time I actually performed for someone when I did a performance where it was freezing cold inside of the room and the auditorium we were in. It was cold, and I didn't expect for the building to be cold on the inside. I figured, well, the temperature is clearly 30 some degrees outside. These people must have heat on the inside. No, that was not the case at all. So, being mindful of where you are, what the temperature is, really helps because Sister Girl was struggling a little bit with those high notes. That cold air was drying me out in here. It was pretty bad. So, I mean, I'm grateful that my performance went well, but I know myself and my body well enough to know what I can and cannot do. And so that surprised me because I did not go inside to see that environment prior to my performance. And I should have. I honestly, well, actually, no, I forgot. No, no, no. I did go, but it was not that cold. I live in Florida. So if anybody knows Florida, it can be cold one second and it can be hot the next. You can have I don't even know how many seasons there are anymore. For many 5, 6, or 7 seasons in one day. Okay. That's how bad the weather can be in Florida. It's just literally like how many seasons do we have again? Type it in the chat for me and help me out. Okay. I appreciate it. All right. So next, I want to talk about mindfulness and grounding techniques. Okay. Now, again, if any of you are familiar with yoga or meditation, you have heard of grounding techniques or mindfulness techniques. And so these techniques I'm actually pretty familiar with because I have done yoga. I've done meditation before, but I also have a background in mental health, where I have been a mental health counselor. So these techniques I know do work if you use them consistently and correctly. Okay. So what it is that they focus on um how you feel and your sensations around you and within you and how you're anchored. So if you start feeling overwhelmed, say you're getting ready to do a performance, and um you want to just take the time to bring your attention to that present moment, not the what if could happen or what happened, but the current situation at hand. Okay. The best thing is to focus on a simple sensation, like maybe your feet on the stage floor. For me, I love wearing heels, and so I actually do enjoy that feeling I get of the hard wood in some cases, where I've performed, or like just a hard floor. Something about that flooring keeps me calm. I don't know if it's maybe the slight clicking, the sound, but it just feels solid to me. Um or maybe, you have the microphone in your hand. Pay attention to how the microphone feels in your hand. These grounding techniques, they really do redirect the anxiety. It lowers the anxiety because you're not worried about the what if this happens, or well darn, this happened last time. Focus on the present moment and understand that it is going to be okay. You just have to lead yourself forward. Stay consistent, stay the course. Um, Now, here's a biggie. I want you to learn how to accept and embrace the negative, well, not negative, nervous energy, okay? Nervous. We don't want to accept any negative. I mean, some negative you do have to accept, but you work through it and you improve it, right? But the nervous energy, we want to accept that. Why? Because we're going to have to deal with adrenaline at some point in our lives. And a little adrenaline can enhance your performance, believe it or not. So it's not something that you want to really just think negative about. You'd be surprised what adrenaline can do for you if you know how to use it right. So nervousness is natural and it can be your ally. So it doesn't have to work against you, it can work for you. So if you just embrace it as a sign that you're alive, you're passionate about what you're actively doing, and you're ready to give your best, let that adrenaline lead forward with you. Okay. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. Um, it could be used positively. Okay. All right. Now, let's go to the next session. Oh, before I go to the next section, if you are enjoying this stream right now, and I see some of you in here, thank you so much. Hey, Tariq, I see you in there. Hey, Marquita. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here to support. You guys, this means so much. I appreciate it very much. If you guys know anybody else who would love to join this live, please bring them, share the link to encourage them to join, because I'm still dishing out some good information. I am not done. We're literally just getting started. And I want to make sure that we can get this information out to others who are also um, in need of this information, and maybe they just don't know how to go about getting it. Okay. So the next part that we're going to be hitting is the power of positive reinforcement in singing. Okay, here we go. So this is a big one. Celebrating your wins, no matter how small or how big, they all matter. Now, I'll tell you this, I don't have a I don't feel like any win is small. Okay. And that's why I introduced it that way, no matter how big or how small, because some people do. That's their perception. But honestly, I feel like every win is big. Okay. I feel like every single win is huge because it is progress, and progress in itself is a huge celebration to have. Okay. Every time you hit a note that you've, struggled with, or mastered a challenging technique that you've been, really working at, you should celebrate that, because they add up, and they add up into huge momentous things, like just one step at a time. One step at a time will get you closer and closer and closer up the mountain. It's only when you don't move because you're not practicing, or because you're not giving your all, that then you regress, or there's nothing to celebrate, right? So you want to celebrate those small wins, still do it anyways. um Another thing is surrounding yourself with positive influence. Excuse me. I, as a singer, um have had experiences being around people who were not so positive. And it's not that, I did it intentionally. It's just sometimes especially when you're younger and you don't know better, you're learning life, you're learning people. And sometimes you get in the company of others who really don't deserve to be in your company. Right? Let's just be real. There's some people that don't deserve to be in our company. So, with that being said, be around people who choose to support you and who choose to recognize your effort and your growth as a positive thing. I have had people who I have been around who were not supportive, but then I've also been around people who are supportive. And I'm more so these days around people who are supportive. People who were not supportive, they don't really hear from me that much anymore. I mean, that's pretty much saying saying it right there, right? So, I know sometimes in certain situations, it's hard to say, "Look, I can't be around you," because a lot of the times we care about people's feelings and how they feel about us. However, we have to take ourselves into consideration, especially over those who don't take us into consideration. So you got to weigh those things out. And so I say this: if the person supports you in everything that you're doing, and it's a good thing that you're doing, they are good to keep around. It is your decision to make that decision as to who stays in and who's not. But this is just me sharing my suggestions or recommendations and things that I have done. Um, when it comes to people showing their true colors, believe them for what they show you. Don't say, "Oh my gosh, well, darn, that sound a little mean, but did they really mean it? They meant it." Because if they didn't mean it, they wouldn't have said it. Okay. So put yourself around positive influence. And if you have any questions about like where you can find that influence, one suggestion I would make is looking at like YouTube videos. Matter of fact, the reason why I say YouTube videos because sometimes you'll find where like people will list groups of people that study certain things like music or whatnot. But I will also check out like Facebook groups. I would check out Meetup, the app Meetup. um by the way, I'm not doing any type of advertisement. These are just suggestions, just that are coming out of me, to share with you. Look in your local community and see if there are any local groups who are in music, people who want to encourage other singers. I happen to be a Sigma Alpha Iota, which is the international music fraternity for females or for women. And so in our fraternity, we're all about love and encouragement of other musicians and other singers, other people who want to study music and teach, etc. Those are people who I decided to put myself around because they're positive influence. I knew that as long as I'm around these women and our brothers, Phi Mu Alpha, I always know that I'm going to be encouraged to do the right thing within my art and my field. So, with that being said, put yourself around positivity. All right. The next thing would be keeping a progress journal. And I'm gonna speak more on that near the end. I have something special for you. Um, the thing about a progress journal is it is a visualization of what's in here and what's in here. Okay. And this tool is so helpful. I love it so much. I remember when I first started journaling, um, and I'll be honest with you, it was hard. Like I didn't get it. I did not get it. Um, and I'm gonna admit that. Okay. Like I know some of my teachers who are probably watching this, they're like, yeah, she didn't always journal like she was supposed to. Listen, I didn't at first, but what I started doing after a while was noticing how well some of my other colleagues who also were training with the same teachers were journaling. And then I was just like, oh, this actually does work. Maybe I should try it. And so I did it more consistently. It's not that I didn't do it at all, but I didn't do it as consistently as I should. But now I do it. I do it every time I'm preparing and practicing and working on myself. I journal because I want to see how well I'm progressing. And I need to know how do you know how well you're progressing if you don't document it, right? Like it's like a course that I have right now, voice launch masterclass course that I have, which I'll be sharing with you guys soon. I'm just wrapping up on a class right now. But within this class, this is something that, it definitely helps to journal, to grow, because that way you can see yourself from the beginning to the end. And so in this course, I actually have my students videotape themselves. They see themselves where they were beginning. They see themselves throughout the process and at the end. So they can tell from day one to the very end how they did. So it speaks for itself, right? So keep a progress journal to maintain and look back on yourself where you were, and that way you can be encouraged about where you are. All right. Affirmations and self talk. Now, affirmations. I don't know if you guys all know about affirmations or not, but I'm just going to express that. Basically, affirmations are positive talk, positive thinking, structured ways of saying positive gifts to yourself. Okay? That's the way I define it. Self talk. You're talking to yourself in a positive way and it's consistent, right? So you speak kindness and positivity into yourself. And remember, that your internal dialogue can be your greatest, I almost said your biggest, but it actually could be your greatest cheerleader if you allow it. Sometimes you'll have people who will say, "Ah, darn, I didn't get the note. Oh, why?" Or um I've been practicing this so much. I can't get it. This is just not for me. These are the types of things that you don't want to say to yourself. Period. Okay? Like, let's just cut that kind of talk off. What you want to say to yourself is, "You know what? I didn't hit that note this time, but I'm going to keep practicing. I'm going to keep practicing because I know that I can do it. I know I can sing this note." Okay. Or, I'm not really feeling that well today, but you know what? I'm going to still review my music. Okay. I may not be able to sing. Maybe my throat is sore. Maybe I got a cold, right? My throat is sore. I can't sing the music, but I can at least sit at the piano and play the notes and just rehearse my phrases and my lines in my head. I can look at my words. I can still do something to progress myself forward. Okay. These are the things that we have to do and say to ourselves, or just say, "I am a wonderful singer." Something just as simple as that. You would be amazed at how much that will change your way of thinking about yourself and being able to accept your flaws that you have and just embracing those unique changes that you're having to go through in life. It's totally, totally okay. And the one last section here is to revisit previous performances. Every now and then, you will want to listen to, just as I said a little earlier, record yourself, okay? And watch how you progress. I have had students who are camera shy, you know, they don't want to record themselves, right? And that's fine. You don't have to use a camera, but you got a voice recorder. Record yourself on the voice recorder. You don't have to look at yourself, but you do need to have some form of a document that shows yourself over and over again. And you basically are proving to yourself, "Hey, I'm actually doing better than what I used to do." Like, look at this first performance or how I sound at this one point. Look at how I do now. Man, I'm doing really good. Okay? There's nothing wrong with saying anything like that. Always um always encourage yourself. It's okay. I know some people have this thing about being humble. They don't want to celebrate themselves because they've been told all their lives be humble. Now I'm going to tell you from experience, I have dealt with that issue. I have. Man, growing up, I hear people say, "Be humble, be humble, be humble, be humble, be humble." But the funny part was the same people who were telling me to be humble were not the people being humble. I'm sorry, were the people not being humble. Contradiction, maybe. Hypocrite, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what that was all about. But one thing I do understand is that there has to be balance. There has to be balance, and that's something that is not talked about enough. Is having a balance between being humble and knowing how to own the stage, owning yourself, owning everything that you do. Okay. Because when I was younger, I'm not going to lie, I was shy. I was shy. I thought that that was the way you had to operate. I thought being shy was the safe zone, being quiet was the safe zone. I didn't know better though. That was just the way. And some people to this day still think that way. I probably can't just to say some, a lot of people that still think that way. Okay. But no, there's nothing wrong with being humble, but there is a problem when you don't know that you're the ish. There is a problem when you don't know that you're the ish, because then you're going to miss opportunities and then people are going to think, maybe you're too timid. I don't know if you can deal with the limelight, right? Then you're allowing someone else's opinions to make decisions for you in your future. You can't live life like that. That's just it's not going to work. So that's something I had to grow out of because I had to realize, look, this is me. Like it or not, I'm me, and that's the way it's going to be. Now give me the mic and get out my way. Thanks. Okay, because I can't be that diva. I actually am that diva. I'm not gonna say I can. I am. I'm that diva. Okay, but you're gonna have people on both sides of the aisle where when you're that diva, they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, she has such a big head." You know what? That's your opinion. I don't have a big head. I just know who I am. Now get out my way. Okay. Now, next, introducing healthy vocal technique. This is a biggie, and I'm going to go more into this in another video because I don't want to hold us too long today because I'm still a mama, y'all, um and a wife. But I do want to make sure that I mention that it is so important that we take time to warm up our voice. You're going to miss so many leaps, quantum leaps at that, vocally, if you don't take care of your voice and warm up first before you start singing. There was someone who I recently had a discussion with in a group on Facebook, and I was asking about, what types of vocal warm ups they go through, before they sing. And most of them were like, I just speak before I sing. I don't warm up. And I'm like, huh? You know, and I was just thinking to myself, you know what? This is something that really needs to be addressed because there are a lot of singers out there realistically that don't warm up enough. Like they do not warm up or prep their voice before they sing. And things like this can really cause you to damage your voice. I mean, it's just like, athletes, they have to warm up their muscles before they run or play a game. Just like singers, we have to warm up our vocal cords. We can't just get out there and just pop a high note. I mean, maybe some of us can, but it's not the best practice, right? I have attempted that and I've learned as I've gotten older, that's not the best practice. So I should always warm up before I hit that high D note or hit that high E over, several octaves. However, I got to do it. I'm a soprano, you guys. So that's why I'm saying high notes. Okay. So those are things that we want to make sure that we do to take care of our voice first. So always start your practice session out with warm exercises. These are things that improve your confidence, believe it or not. If you actually warm up before you sing, you're going to feel way more confident than you would had you not. And if you don't believe me, go try. Try singing in public without warming up and then warm up and then go sing in public again. And you tell me how you feel. Okay. I guarantee you're going to feel way much more confident the time that you warm up. The next thing that you're going to want to do is stay hydrated. Um, there are many of us who are walking around every day, busy, pursuing activities and never taking time to keep our body hydrated. Okay. Um, all I want to know at this point is what do you think is going to happen if you think if you're not well hydrated? Like, let's be real. What do you really think is going to happen to your like if I'm talking to you, one somebody in this chat, tell me what you think is going to happen if you do not hydrate yourself. What do you think is going to happen? Please tell me. I can tell you right now, you're gonna have some issues with your voice. You're gonna have some issues technical wise. You're not gonna be as fluid. The voice itself is not going to move as flexibly as it possibly could. Okay. Um so you definitely want to make sure that you hydrate yourself um and that way it's going to reduce any type of damage that you could possibly occur. I know some people take singing so lightly, they're just like, oh, it's just singing, it's just something that you can do, right? Well, when you sung music like Wagner and Mozart, etc., you'll learn better because it takes a lot of agility. It definitely does. I have a lot of respect for people like myself who sing classical music or any kind of music. I mean, my God, even R&B, and I'm a big R&B person. I love R&B. I love jazz. I love it all. I have no limit to music. I love all music. Now I tell you this, there are certain things I don't like. I don't like profanity in music. I don't like negative music, right? I like music with positive energy. That's as much limited as it's going to get. Okay. Um, so yes, make sure you're doing that. Another thing is make sure you're getting enough sleep. Make sure you're getting enough rest. Okay. Don't stay up all night. Like you don't have anything else to do, or like you're not getting old. Go to bed. Go have a decent bedtime and get yourself some sleep so that you can have the energy to think about what you have to do with your voice. The next thing would be practicing breath control. Ooh, that's a big one. So, breath control. How do I explain this one? Well, this is where we combine the voice with sustained notes. That's pretty much it. How long can I sustain my voice with these notes? And how do I do that? I have to take care of making sure that my body can endure singing, and singing phrases, over a certain period of time. I have had where people who will start off, they can't sing more than 3 bars of music in 4/4 time, for example. And maybe they get to just 2 bars. Okay. And so to me, that tells me that maybe they have little to no breath control. Okay. But then over time, as they practice, they get better. They can then get to 4 or 5 bars at a time. Or maybe maybe I should just say phrases. Okay. They can get through a whole entire phrase, get to that first comma without feeling like they can't make it. Okay. And so these are things where, we need to dedicate time to practicing our breath exercises, because it is very foundational for singing. I didn't understand how important it was until I started singing Mozart's songs. Oh my gosh. If he will tell on you, he will expose every type of flaw that you have. Matter of fact, really any classical composer, their music in general, will expose your technique. Period. If you don't know how to breathe, if you can't sight read music, or if you can't, you know, utilize the breath support correctly, if all of that is limited, you ain't gonna get through it. You have to build your breath control in order to sing that music. There's just no possible way. It's like trying to fit a big circle through a big square. It's just not going to happen. Okay. um Next thing is avoid vocal strain. Pushing your voice beyond its limits is something that you don't want to do. It can be damaging. So you want to listen to your body, feel your body. If hitting a note feels straining to you, just stop. Like, take a rest, and never force your voice to do more than it can do naturally or at the time where it is. One of the things that you want to be mindful of is that if you strain your voice, you can cause vocal nodules to grow on your vocal cords. And it's basically like having calluses on your vocal cords. And it can be kind of nasty. um Hey, Rachel, thank you so much for dropping in. Hey. Let me see. Tissue loses softness doesn't vibrate the same. Right. Yep, that's right. Um, yes, so you want to make sure that you stay hydrated. You want to make sure that you don't strain your voice at all. You want to take care of your voice. It is so important. um you only got two vocal cords, you know so if you mess those things up, you are done. Like, so take care of what you have, and just um do the best that you can. Eat healthy, drink water, get your sleep, get your rest, and just be positive. Sometimes you have to eliminate negative beings and energy out of your circle. And honestly, that's the best thing to do. Sometimes we have to work up to that. Sometimes we're in certain situations we can't just immediately do that, which is totally understandable, but just do the best you can. Another thing would be to seek professional guidance. Sometimes when you're learning how to sing, we go on like people will go on like YouTube to learn how to sing. And that's fine. Like it's wonderful to be able to have those resources where people will give tips out there online. Thank goodness for that, right? But then there are moments where when we try to do those techniques, we need to figure out how to do them for ourselves based off of how we are built, um, our mindset. Maybe we're not really clicking with what is being taught online, Um, and so it's good to have a person who you can, you know, talk to and do these examples with, and they can give you feedback on, how you're doing what you're doing. I feel like that is the best option because if you're doing an exercise and you're thinking you're doing it right on your own and then you ruin your voice because you didn't know, it's going to be more costly for you in the end versus working with a professional singer or coach who already knows how to improve the voice. That's going to save you a lot of trouble in the end. It's going to help build you. You're going to be working with someone who has a lot of credibility, who will be able to teach you how to sing your phrases and improve your breath control and just work on you. And then you have that network there. You just never know who they know and how they can help you along the way. So it's definitely great to have professional guidance. Um and so we're going to hit here our last section, which is embracing and celebrating self-acceptance in music. Now, this kind of hits home to a lot of pretty much most of what we talked about today, but I really wanted to talk about this because this part is so special. Self acceptance in our society today is so hard to accept. It's so hard for people to accept themselves for who they are because we have been taught to not accept ourselves. We've been taught to pretty much throw and cast ourself and our thoughts about ourselves to the side, and just only focus on one other thing, and yeah, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, yeah, you should do that, forget about yourself. No, do not forget about yourself. Please embrace and celebrate yourself and accept who you are, accept where you are. You should embrace your unique voice. I know that Mariah Carey sounds great. I know Whitney Houston sounds great. I know Stevie Wonder sounds great. I know that all the greatest singers in the world sound great, right? But guess what? So do you. And you're unique. And there's nothing that anyone can say to take that away. There's nothing that anyone can do to take that away. The only person that can destroy your uniqueness is yourself. And if you allow the world to steal that from you, then I mean, it was really pointless, right? And it doesn't have to be pointless. It doesn't have to be. So what you do with yourself, you do with intention. You accept yourself who you are with intention. Okay. So your voice is, of course, one of a kind. You should always celebrate what makes you you. Don't ever compare yourself to another artist and say, "Oh, I can't sing like that. I've tried that. It just is not working." Well, I mean, there's so many reasons why it's not working at that moment. Maybe that key that they're singing in is not the best key for you to sing in. Maybe the style that they're singing in is not the best style for you. There's just so many different variables here, and that's the part right there that people forget, the variables. There are so many variables that's going on, and so you have to consider, well, is this the right style for me? Am I in the right key? Is this the right kind of music I should be singing about? Maybe I can't sing the song right because it's not resonating with me, you know? And that's something that myself I had to really wake up and realize at one point. I'm not meant to sing. Well, I can't say I'm not meant to sing. I can sing any genre, okay? But what really resonates with me is classical music and R&B and jazz. And neo soul. Those four, okay? Those four. And I have had other people in the music industry and coaches and stuff. They'll ask me, "So what genre do you sing in?" And I'm like, I sing in a lot of different genres. What do you mean? What genre do I sing in? And it's like they want to fit you in this box, right? And I just me personally, I've never really fully understood why would you want to just isolate yourself to one genre. And that's what they've always done. They've always say, "Oh, this is an R&B artist," or this is a hip hop artist, or this is a that artist, or this is, and I'm just like, well, why can't the singer cross over? I mean, there's been a lot of singers who crossed over. You have Ray Charles, who once, was doing gospel, and then he got into the, R&B, or the soulful music. You have Whitney Houston, who was singing gospel, and she got into R&B music. You have Kathleen Battle, same thing. No, I'm sorry, not Kathleen Battle. Renee Fleming. That's who I'm thinking about. Renee Fleming, classical singer, but then I started hearing her sing other songs that were just like definitely not classical. More so, it felt like I almost want to say like R&B. I have to look up that genre because it was just something just so unusual. I don't even wanna say it was R&B. It almost felt R&B though to me, but it's just almost, yeah, just I guess I would just say R&B, just something with a bit more of a kick to it other than, classical music. I do not understand why, you know, um, people limit themselves to just a specific genre. Maybe I'm assuming it's just a marketing thing, it's just that. But what I will say is that you shouldn't ever allow someone to box you in. If you feel comfortable singing whatever genre you feel comfortable singing in, sing that genre. Okay. Um, Now another thing too is, acknowledge your journey. Your musical journey is very personal. It's not something that you should allow anybody to rip from underneath you or make you feel like you are inadequate. Okay. So whether you're just starting or you've been singing for a long time, just understand that every step of your journey is worth celebrating. You should celebrate everything about it. And don't let anybody tell you anything different. You keep speaking those words of positivity to yourself. And that gets to my next point, avoiding negative self-talk. Um, so um there's this book that I've been reading. I have to double check the title. I'll put it in the description later. But it's something like how to talk to yourself or how to say the right things to yourself. I'll get that and I'll put that in the description for you. But this book I love so much because I really learned a lot about how our bodies work and how our mind works. And in this book, it talks about how we are like, well, technically, really, we're computers. We're human computers. Our brain is like a computer. We store information and we can get rid of information, and some information we can lose, right? Just like a computer. Okay. And how we speak to ourselves, how we talk to ourselves really affects us. How we think about ourselves affects us, and it affects our outcome. So if you keep telling yourself that, you know, you're not picking up the music that well, or you can't memorize your lines, or, you're just really focusing on all the negative aspects, well, guess what, honey? All the negative aspects are going to take place because you're telling yourself something negative and then you're believing it. You're believing it. So instead of telling yourself the negative thing, flip it. Get rid of the negative thing and talk about the positive thing. Talk about the stuff that's real. Talk about the stuff that is actually going to occur in your favor that you want to occur. Say, "Yes, I did a great job." Or if you have to say, "Maybe I didn't sing this exactly the way I wanted to sing it, but I know the next time I practice it's going to sound even better." Okay. You don't have to be a perfectionist. Just allow yourself time to grow and move past that. And just know, believe in yourself. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I wore this shirt, by the way, just for you all today. Hold on. Believe you can. You see that? Believe you can. Believe that you can do it because you can. You can do it. Okay. Um, Also, by the way, I wanted to do a quick shout out. I don't know if he's still in here. Tariq. Tariq is one of my other students. I just wanted to shout him out really quickly because he has been doing a phenomenal job over the past several months now. That I've been working with him. I mean, my goodness, I'm very proud of how much he's been working and improving. I'm proud of all of my students, okay? But it was just something very unique about him that I just wanted to just bring out because I know, the challenges and the struggles that we have all gone through as singers. And I know that, just going through life, it does good to hear that you're doing good. So Tariq, thank you so much for staying the course. And I'm very proud of your improvements that you've been making. And I know that you are definitely going to continue to flourish and shine in the future. And I know all of my students are, all of you guys are, all of you. Which brings me to my next point: celebrate every performance. So every performance is, um, you know, a step forward. You know, it's something that is a goal for every performer. I don't care whether you're an instrumentalist or a singer. I don't care if you're a teacher. It's still a performance, one way or the other. When you get up and you're about to do something in front of somebody else, you are technically performing. You've had to prepare to give what you're giving. Okay. And so, this is something that you want to enjoy your journey and enjoy the growth that it brings. Don't measure it, just accept it for what it is and accept yourself for who you are. Okay. And so you guys, I have been having so much fun doing this. I'm about to wrap up, but I wanted to just share a couple of things. So um oh, let's see. So I'm trying to figure out which one I want to share first. So much. So I'm going to be doing these lives regularly. So I would definitely like to ask you all if, if what I offered you all today was extremely beneficial to you in any kind of way, if it blessed you in any kind of way. I just simply ask that if you would like to, please share this live. Please share it with other people. Just click the share button and send it out. You can post it on Facebook, you can post it on Instagram, you can send it by email, however you want to send it. You can text it to somebody if you want, okay, or email it, okay. But if you feel like the messages that I share today could even impact someone who's not even a singer, but just teaching someone how to accept themselves for who they are and just stepping out of their shell and moving forward, I encourage and ask that you please share this message because that's exactly what this was for. Um, I even had somebody who reached out to me a couple of days ago who asked if they could still join the live because they were not a singer, but they felt like the topics that I was going to discuss was going to still serve them in some way. And so that's why I'm asking if you know anybody whom this could help, please share it with them. Um, and while you're here as well, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications for when we do future lives. Again, I'm going to be doing this much more regularly. My goal is actually to do one live every week. So we're going to see. Okay. Now I know we have Thanksgiving coming up and the Christmas holiday coming up. I still plan to be on here anyway. So that means if I have to move the date up or move it back a day instead of on Saturdays, we're going to figure it out regardless. But I'm going to still give it to you guys because I know that people want it and you guys deserve it. So thank you so much. Now, my special gift that I have for you guys at the end is my free singer's journal link that's in the description box down below. I'm going to gift that to you guys for free for participating in this live. And for those of you who come along after the live and watch this video, and you watch it into its entirety, you will find out that you got a free gift down there, where you can utilize. I actually took a moment. Bear with me 1 second. Here we go. And I printed a little copy out of it right here. At the bottom, you can see all my links to Instagram and YouTube. I didn't put my Facebook on there just yet, but these are the ones that I'm on the most. So I may consider updating it and put the Facebook on there. But as you can see, just this is just a model of the PDF. It says this book belongs to. You can write your name on here. It literally has the dates up here, the days of the week and the date. You can write over here what you'll be practicing on that day, songs that you want to work on that day, what warm-ups you're going to want to do that day, techniques that you're working on, as well as, am I hydrated? See how important that is? I put it on the first page. Okay, it's very important. Okay. um, and then on the back here, I call this my joy page. Okay, my joy. And the reason why is because we're going to be focusing on how you feel here. We're getting into that aspect. And I want you to be able to write, what you're proud of. And, think about what you're proud of about where you are. Okay. Don't measure this. Just write out, what are you proud of? Okay. And then what do I want to improve? Okay. So instead of saying what am I proud of and what I'm not proud of, there is nothing that you're not proud of. You follow me? Okay. You're going to want to write what I want to improve instead. Okay. It's all about how you say things to yourself. All right. And then the next page here is, how are you feeling today? Okay. You're going to talk about how you're feeling, things that you're grateful for. You have a little list, some lines right here to fill that in. Okay. And then down here, you're going to write your positive affirmations of the day. Okay. Your positive affirmations. And then below, here's a mood today, your mood checklist. You're going to check how you're feeling. You have some options down there. And if none of these fit what you feel, I have a little option over here for you to just check and write how you feel. Okay. And then on the last two pages, right here, you have where you can list what songs you have mastered. This means that you've already worked on these songs, you know them backwards and forwards. You're going to write the list of songs that you already have mastered here. And the songs that you will, notice I said songs I will master. You're going to write those there. I wrote this journal. I created this journal in this manner because we have so many people that'll say, I might do it, or I think I can do it. And it's just like, no, you think and then you might means that you're not going to do it, or it leaves room for the possibility of you not doing it. Well, ain't nobody got time for that. You're gonna do it. Okay. If it's something that you're very passionate about, put that out there in the form of saying I will or I am. Claim it. Okay. Now, if it takes you a month to master that song, okay, but at least you did it. If it takes you 6 months to master the song, okay, but at least you didn't give up and you did it. Okay. That's the thing. I don't want you to give up. I want you to keep going, keep moving forward. Okay. That's the key to success. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, one other thing. I will be launching a course soon, another course soon. So this course is actually going to be based off of self-acceptance, boosting the singer themselves. Everybody has a course for how to learn how to sing, right? And I'm all for it, okay? I love teaching people how to sing. I'm not discarding that at all. Okay. However, there's something that is not done enough, and it is addressing how the singer feels and getting connected with the singer themselves and helping them develop themselves from where they are. I have gone through the experience myself where I have worked with coaches or voice teachers or choral directors who are just like, no, just get it, just get it, just get it, just do it, just do it, just do it. They don't understand or have the, I don't want to say compassion. They have compassion, but they do not have that skill just yet of understanding how to relate and take the time to understand the singers that they're working with, um, and where they're coming from and how to help them overcome their challenges and their fears. And so I'm creating this, well, not creating, I have created this course based off of my experience and research, that I have been involved in and have done to help singers overcome these fears, these challenges of being able to understand music literacy. And that's a big thing. And being able to bring forth that artistry, that person whom they really are inside. That is so important. And these are the skills that many of these very famous singers that you hear about, they have and they get it, but everybody else don't get it. They don't. And that's just it. There's a need for that. And so I'm here to bring it. I'm here to give it. Okay. So I wanted to let you guys be aware of that. I've already put a link down in the description for that below the link for the Singers Journal. So if you are interested in, getting over self-doubt, wanting to finally understand yourself better and learn how to sing, and decreasing your frustration, challenges that you've been having with singing, but just not, really feeling it because you don't feel and connect with yourself and you're trying to compare yourself to others. Go ahead and get get to that link and click it, and meet with me, schedule a meeting with me. We'll do a 30-minute one-on-one together and just really get to delve into some things that you really want to fix and work on. And we will see if you are the right fit for that program. And this program is perfect for you. Okay. That's the thing I want to also make sure that I address is that, it's not whether if the program is good enough. Sometimes we need to make sure that we're in the right circle and when we're doing the right things for us. Okay. So, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And this really means the world to me. Those of you who have showed up live, I really appreciate you. Those who stuck here the entire time, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I have to admit, I was a little nervous before I did this. And I know some people are like, why would you be nervous? You're a singer. And I'm like, it's because I care. And I wanted to go right. I wanted to do right. But what did I do though? I kept visualizing it going right. And look at it. Look at me now. Hey, look at me now. Hey. All right. So you can do this too. Okay. Believe you can. I will see you guys next week. Go ahead. I appreciate you so much. Please share the link, and I will see you guys next time. Have a happy weekend and enjoy this 3-day weekend. Take care.